Good afternoon, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Jumping straight in, you guys know that I'm doing the Declutter series, and yeah, in this episode of the series I'm going to be covering foundations, concealers, primers, setting powders and setting sprays. So yeah, everything is now currently on the bed, so yeah, I'm just going to jump straight in, and I'm going to start off with the foundation. So jumping straight in, I'm going to start off with the Revolution IRL Filter Foundation, and I have to say guys, this is becoming one of my favorite foundations. I tend to reach for this every time I'm going to do a makeup look. It's really full coverage, it's thick but it's lightweight. I don't know how they've done it guys, but yeah, I definitely recommend this. I started off using the shade F13, and then I come to realize I thought it was a perfect shade for me, but then it's coming up a little bit light. So I tried the 13.2 and this seems to be perfect. So I definitely went and picked up the 13.5 as we're approaching summer. Doesn't feel like it, but I know I'm going to need a darker shade, so I thought this would be perfect for me to use. So yeah, these are definitely staying guys, and if it's one foundation I definitely recommend, it would be this one. And for £10 you can't go wrong. Plus, even though this is £10, and a fellow YouTuber called Lucy Stevenson, she has a code for 20% off, and all you have to do is use the code LUCE20, so that's LUCE20 on the Revolution website, and I believe it works in Australia, America as well as the UK, but you get 20% off. So yeah guys, it's even cheaper than the tenner, so I recommend that. So those are staying. The next one is the Huda Beauty foundation. I don't know what it's actually called. It's Faux Filter Luminous Matte. I do like this foundation guys, but I just don't like the price tag. So this is almost finished. I don't know whether I'm going to repurchase this just because of how much it costs, and there are cheaper foundations out there that do just as good a job for a fraction of the price. But for those of you who are interested, this is the shade Chocolate Mousse 450G, and like I say, this is almost finished, so I'm going to just keep it and finish it off. Alright, as you can see, this foundation is almost done also. I do like this foundation. This is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation, and this is in the shade 70WY. I do like this foundation. I don't know whether or not I'll repurchase it, like I say, just because of the price tag. I may do, but there are other high-end foundations that I prefer. So yeah, I am keeping this. I'm going to finish it off. Okay, so next up we have these two foundations from Too Faced. This is a really good foundation guys. There's two different types. You've got the normal Born This Way undetectable medium to full coverage foundation, and this is oil free. And then we have the Born This Way 24-hour undetectable super long wear foundation, and this is in the matte. I've picked up the shade Chestnut in both, which works perfectly fine for me. However, I prefer this formula, the oil-free formula, over the matte formula. So yeah, and if there was a high-end foundation that I probably would repurchase, it would be this one, only because I used this one for so many years. I've never had a problem with it. It goes with everything, well, everything I've used. I found out I don't have any issues with this. But because I have so many different foundations, I haven't had a chance to repurchase it. This is finished, but I am going to keep the bottle just so that I can remember the shade Chestnut. This one isn't finished, but I don't really like this foundation, so I am going to declutter this one. Next up we have the Lancome Tentadol Ultra Wear 24-hour foundation. It says wear and comfort retouch free, and it's got SPF 15. I really do like this foundation. This is in the shade is it 60 or is it 9? Maybe it's 9. It doesn't actually say. Like, it's got this thing on the back and it looks like it says number 9. I'm not 100% sure. I can't even remember where I picked it up from. But this is a little bit on the light side for me. like it's like maybe a shade, maybe even 2 shades too light, as you can see. So yeah, I don't think I am going to declutter this, but I need to find out what shade this is first before decluttering it. I'm going to try and pass it on because it's fairly new. I've only used it a couple of times, so maybe my sister or somebody else maybe, you know, can get some use out of it. So yeah, I'm going to pass this on. Right, next up we have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. It says it stays all day and night. This is in the shade 13 Neutral. I do like this foundation. It's really thin. I find it's, let me see before I say that. It's not as thick as some of the other foundations, but it is full coverage. And when I first put it on, it comes out red, but then when it dries, it kind of dries down to the neutral. Look at that. That looks super red, but I promise you, when I put it on my face, I don't know what happens. I don't know if you can see that it's starting to happen already. As it dries down, it becomes less red and more of my skin tone. It has to completely dry down. You're kind of seeing it, but then all the lights and stuff, it's still making it appear orange. But how it looks on the camera and how it looks in real life isn't the same. But as you can see, it is kind of happening. Right, so I really do like this foundation. I just don't like the price tag. And obviously I know it's Charlotte Tilbury and I'm saying that a lot, but it's true. Yeah, I definitely will finish this foundation, but I don't think I'll be repurchasing this one, because this one is really expensive. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to repurchase this. Look guys, I just wanted to show you, I've rubbed it all in. Can you see it does provide like the airbrush finish? You can see like where my hand is. It really does look really nice. That red kind of tone that had, it's still there a little bit because it is still kind of damp here in certain places, but you can see that it's kind of changed color from when I first put it on. I don't know how it does that. But yeah, as it wears and then you put the rest of the makeup on top, it blends perfectly. Can you see? I do like the formulation of it, guys, but just the price tag is so expensive. So yeah, I just wanted to show this to you before I wipe it off. And as you can see, as I'm talking to you, it is becoming more and more neutral, and that orange tone is kind of fading out. I don't know how it does it. Next up, we have the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. I absolutely love the concealer in this range. So I thought I would give the foundation a try, but as you can see, it's still brand new. I got it in the shade F12.7, which in hindsight now, I think is going to be a little bit too light. Should have been F13 at least. But yeah, we're going to have to try and make it work, because I definitely want to try this out. And we'll see, because it's a different range. It might appear a little bit darker. I have no idea. But yeah, that's definitely staying because I want to try that out. Next up, we have the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. And this is in the shade Sienna. It's a matte finish. This is really matte, guys. And I don't like the fact that it's really matte. I have super oily skin, and I find this is overly matte. I don't know how else to say it. Drop a comment, guys, if you know exactly what I'm talking about. This actually dries my skin out. I don't know how, but yeah, I don't like it. So as you can see, it's practically still full. I've had this over a year now. I'm going to declutter that. That's probably gonna have to go in the bin. Next up, we have the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation, and I first got it in the shade Latte Cafe, I think Latte Cafe. And this was too light for me. I squeezed it once. I didn't actually use it. I just did a color check, and this was definitely too light for me. So I'm definitely going to declutter that. I then managed to pick it up in the shade Nutmeg, which I think is more my color. It's still brand new, as you can see. I haven't actually opened it yet. So I want to try this out when I do my full face of e.l.f. products. Next up, we have the Be Perfect Chroma Cover Foundation, and this is in the shade N8. I want to try and pick up the shade N9 because this is slightly too light for me, just slightly. But as you can see, I went through quite a few tries before I got even remotely close. This was the shade N6 and then N7, and this is N8, like I said. And I'm thinking I'm going to try and pick up N9. So I literally have 3 of the foundations. So I'm going to keep this one. I'd say I'm going to keep this one. I've probably got 1 more use left in this because I do like it. I like this foundation a lot. This is the N6, which was just totally too light. I tried using it as a concealer, but because of how thick it is and how full coverage it is, and it's a foundation, it doesn't work. Maybe I could try it again, but yeah, I'm gonna have to pass these on. These are really just too light. And this is the shade N7. Yeah, N7. Look at that. And this one I haven't actually used. All right, it's brand new. So I can actually, yeah, pass this on to somebody else as this is new. And this one, depends on the person. Maybe they can get some use out of it. This is the shade N6. So yeah, these are going. Next up we have the Morphe foundation, and this is the shade Filter Rich 28. Whoops, I keep doing that. Right, I really do like this foundation as well. It's not really one that I reach for. It's nothing special. It does the job. It is buildable. It is, I would say, medium to full coverage if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, I like it. It's the right shade for me. I'm gonna keep this and just use it up. Maybe put it into a shop my stash or something. Look, who else's foundations look like this after a couple of uses, guys? Absolutely disgusting. Next up we have the Revolution, the Relove by Revolution foundations, and I'm thinking that I'm going to be 13.2, seeing as I'm 13.2 in the IRL foundation, but I did get the 12.5 also. I haven't tried them, I haven't used them. I think this foundation is like £5, or it's got to be under £5. Oh, yeah, they're still sealed. Because anything by this brand is £5 and under. Oh, I have opened this one and tried it out. So yeah, I think this is my shade, the 13.2. Right, so I am going to do a look using these to, I'm going to try and do a full face of Relove. And I know I keep saying I'm going to do a full face of this and a full face of that. I promise I am going to start doing my makeup looks at the weekend like I used to. It's just, I've been crazy busy, guys, and I am looking to free up some time so that I can concentrate on doing some makeup. But yeah, look out for those. They are staying. Guys, all the rest of these are from Primark. Now, when I went there, I had no idea what colour I was. So I picked up a few different ones, and I said I could use some for contour. I can use some for like concealer under my eyes. So the first one we have is this PS My Perfect Colour Matte Foundation. It says natural medium coverage. So I'm thinking I could maybe use this under my eyes. And this is in the shade Beige 07. Because I wanted to try and do a full face of Primark makeup. And yeah, because they don't really have like concealers and stuff. Or in my Primark they don't. And I never saw any kind of bronzer that was dark enough. I do have one, but I don't think it's dark enough. So I thought I would pick some darker shades up. So I picked up one dark in chestnut, one light to see if I could do like contour and conceal. And then I have this one. I have these colours because I had no idea what my skin tone would be, and I thought I could mix and match all these colors until I find the perfect color for my skin tone. And again, if this doesn't work, or if it's not dark enough, I can try and use one of these as a contour shade, and then use one for conceal under my eyes. And they all say they are medium to full coverage. Oh my gosh, I can't use these ones, guys. I've just seen these ones are a no-go because it says medium to full coverage, natural, vitamin C plus vitamin E. Vitamin C breaks me out really disgustingly, guys. Vitamin C on my face, it doesn't agree. So I can't put these on my face. So these have to be passed on, and they are all brand new. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can pass those on. I won't be using that. And then this one is the double coverage matte foundation. This has got SPF 15. It says long wear matte finish, oil free, and this is in the shade Chestnut 15. I'm hoping this is going to be my shade. It might be too dark, guys. It looks like it might be too dark. I've got it open and immediately I can see that this is too dark. I might be able to lighten it up with the concealer or this light coloured shade. I'm going to have to try and do something for the foundation. But yeah, I'm going to make it work with these 3 products. And I don't see any of them saying vitamin C on these ones. So yeah, I'm going to keep these 3 and pass on the rest. And I've literally just put the foundation all over the sheet. So if you're seeing this, it is a foundation, guys. Apologies. I tried to just use a wet wipe and wipe it, and I've made it worse. Right, so those are all my foundations currently that I have. And I think I did pretty well. I've got a little pile over there of foundations that I'm not keeping, and then I have my pile here that I am keeping. So we're going to move on to concealers. Let's see if we can just move on to some concealers now. I think I have them all here. These are all the concealers that I'm using currently. So let's go through it. These are my newest concealers. These are the IRL Filter Finish concealers, and I do like the concealer. It's not full coverage. It does do my T-zone, like highlight my nose, my forehead and my chin really, really well. With my under eyes, I did do a video, and I think I had to like build it up twice, and it still wasn't like covering my dark circles 100%. It was fine, but if you want that full coverage look where you can't see anything peeking through and you have really bad dark circles like me, this didn't cut it. I did say I wanted to try it again and first use a color corrector, because in that video I did not. So I am going to keep hold of these and try it again. But yeah, if you don't have really bad dark under eyes or bags like and dark circles like me, then this will definitely work for you. So yeah, it is a nice concealer. The consistency is really, really nice. So I'm going to keep those. I am going to do a video on this brand, and this is still in the packet. I haven't taken it out. This is a liquid concealer. This is medium to full coverage, it says. I am going to try and incorporate this into the video, so that's got to stay. Guys, this was like one of my first ever brands of concealer that I used. Everyone knows this brand. It's the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD High Definition Concealer, and this is in the shade Fawn. This is really old now, so I really should get rid of this. Yeah, it smells a bit funny. Right, I've had this for years. This isn't the actual first one that I brought. This is obviously a repeat, but I'm just saying, when I got into concealer, this was the first brand that I've ever tried, and it's really good. This is a really affordable brand as well, but sadly this has expired, so I am going to definitely get rid of this. I'm going to put it here. There was another thing that was, this is expired. I'm going to put this here. Next up we have the Fenty Beauty concealer. This is okay. Again, I had to build it up under my eyes. My dark circles did peek through. I know a lot of people rave about this, but you know, when I watch people using this, their bags under their eyes, or they don't really have dark circles. So of course, majority of concealers are going to work for them, apart from if it settles into fine lines and stuff like that, because I know a lot of people have that. But someone who has really dark, really dark circles under their eyes, foundations don't really, not foundations, concealers don't tend to cover it all, even when they say they do. There's only a couple of foundations that I've used that I can safely, I keep saying foundations, there's only a couple of concealers that I've used that I found that really can cover my dark circles. So yeah, this isn't one of them, but it's a really nice concealer and I can build it up, so I'm going to keep that. Right, this is the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour, and I absolutely love this. This is one of the concealers that can cover my dark circles. It covers it. I don't have to build it up. So yeah, I do highly recommend it. Look at that. It's a really thick formula. It dries down matte. I really do like this concealer, and it's affordable. It's the Revolution one. So yeah, I do recommend this, and I'm sure you've heard a lot of people rave about this. I do like it. Right, this is the Juvia's Place concealer. I don't like it. A lot of people rave about this concealer, and to me, this is one of the worst concealers that I've used, and I don't know if I should leave it to dry down a little bit before blending it out. But this doesn't cover much of my dark circles. I did say that once before, and I said I was going to hold on to it and try it again and allow it to dry down a lot before blending it out under my eyes and see if that will work. Because a lot of people have raved about this Juvia's Place concealer, and I haven't found that it works for me. And I'm thinking, can a lot of people be wrong about it? I don't think so. So maybe I'm doing something wrong. So I'm going to hold on to this, like I said before, and try it again and leave it to dry down quite a bit before blending it out. Leave it for a couple of minutes. I do like the applicator though. I do like this doe foot applicator. It's really thick and it can get in there and distribute a lot of product. So yeah, I am going to leave it. I'm going to keep it even and try it again. This one is the Maybelline Superstay Better Than Skin or Better Skin concealer. This is definitely expired, but I did like this. This was in the shade, it was either 60 or 9. I think it's in the shade 9 or deep. All right, but as you can see, it's definitely expired. I am going to get rid of this, but I did keep it so that I can repurchase it. I do like this concealer. Right, so I may just have to write down what concealers I'm getting rid of and what the shades were if I want to repurchase. Okay, so then this one here is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer, and I absolutely love this concealer. I don't love the price tag, but this concealer is really, really good. All right, and since using this, I have continuously used it. I think, as you can see, look, it's practically done. I am going to have to repurchase this, guys. And this was just the right colour. The perfect colour. And this was in shade Praline. I think that says 6.3N. The writing is so small, guys. I think it says 6.3N. But yeah, I am going to repurchase this. And I do recommend it. It's this one here, I think. It's this one. Right, so moving on. I think I'm going to do like primers and eye primers. I think these are all the primers and eye primers, so I'm going to start with this one. This is the newest primer that I've managed to pick up, and this is the IRL Skin Filter Pore Blur Primer, and I recommend this, guys. Since getting this, as you can see, I haven't used another primer. Absolutely love this. It does blur the pores, not that I've got many around my nose, but I realised the foundation sits so good after I put this down. And I'm not sure if this is the same thing for every foundation, but because I told you earlier that I've been using the IRL filter foundation non-stop and it's the same kind of line, I'm wondering if that's why the foundation sits really well. I haven't tried this with a different foundation, only this one, and the combination is perfect. So you could be watching this and think, oh, but I've tried this with, say, for example, the Charlotte Tilbury, and it doesn't work. I can't talk about any other foundation, but these two together, and I know it's a part of the same line, so maybe that's why it works perfectly. So yeah, I do recommend this foundation, guys. I absolutely, not foundation, primer. I absolutely love this. Next up, we have the Game of Thrones primer, and I haven't actually used this one yet, so I can't really talk about if I like it or not. So I'm going to keep this so that I can try it out. And then, as you can see, the packaging absolutely disgusting because obviously it's got foundation and stuff all over it. But as you can see, I absolutely love my NYX pore filler. Right, I have the smaller ones, I have the bigger ones, And I've just noticed that I don't finish using one up before I open in another one. I think it's just whichever one I grab first. So all of these still have product in. I am going to keep them so that I can finish them up. And I do recommend the NYX Pore Filler. It's really good. You can use this as a moisturizer or a primer because it's an all-in-one product. And I have not used it yet. As you can see, it's sealed. We got a load of these. We still get them in subscription boxes, and I normally give them away, but I did keep one so that I can try it out. I haven't yet, so I can't really talk about it, but that's staying. Next up, we have the Too Faced Hangover Face Primer. I did use this a couple of times. I don't like it. It doesn't work for me, so I am gonna declutter this, pass it on. We have the Power Grip Primer by e.l.f. I have tried this a couple times, and again, I don't like it. But I was speaking to somebody about this, and they said that they liked it, or they liked the new one, the pink one that's come out, and maybe I should try that one. But this one I really don't like. So I am going to declutter this because I just can't see myself reaching for it. Although I am going to do a full face of e.l.f., aren't I? So maybe I need to keep this for the time being, just to be able to complete that video before decluttering. So yeah, I think I'm going to keep hold of this just for that video, but I honestly don't like it. Next up, we have the Ordinary Silicone Primer, and I did use this a couple times. I don't like it. It doesn't work for me, so I am going to declutter this, and this is so old that it's expired, so I'm going to chuck this out. Next up, we have this Matte Blur Priming Stick from Beauty Bay. As you can see, it's brand new. I still haven't had a chance to use it yet, so I don't know how this works. If you've used this, guys, then please drop a comment down below and let me know. This is what it looks like. I am going to get rid of the box now, though, and keep this so I can try it out. Next, we have these eyeshadow bases, like primers that I use on my eyes before putting eyeshadow down. The first thing is this P. Louise base, and this is in the shade Rumor 03. I do like the P. Louise one. It's tricky though. You have to put it on in a certain type of way, otherwise it will crease. It will give you lines in your eye crease. It will separate. You have to put it down, but you have to kind of tap it in place to set it, right? And then go straight in with the eyeshadow. You don't set it with the powder. Yeah, so it's this one here. I know a lot of people have complained about it. A lot of people rave about it, but a lot of people say it doesn't work. It does, but there's just a technique that you have to use with it in order for it to not do like split on the eyelid. So yeah, I'm gonna keep hold of that. This is my holy grail, guys. The Revolution Ultimate Eye Base in the shade medium. Guys, if it's one eye base that I will never get rid of, it's this. And I think I have one backup of it, but at one point this was sold out for months. I couldn't get it anywhere, so I do have a backup of this now, and I feel like I'm going to pick up another one just to be on the safe side, to know that I'm never going to run out. But yeah, I highly recommend the Revolution Ultimate Eye Base. Right, next up we have the NYX Glitter Primer. This is perfect. It works every time. I don't need any other glitter primers apart from this. You just put a little bit on your finger, tap it on the eyelid, and any kind of glitter, any kind of shimmer, it pops 100%. I haven't heard anybody say a bad word about this, and when anybody is talking about a glitter primer, 9 times out of 10, they always use the NYX. Right, so this is what it looks like. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Next up, we have the LA Girl Pro Primer High Definition Eyeshadow Primer. I used to use this all the time. Look, it was a wind up. It's completely finished, guys. I only kept this so I could remember to repurchase it. But yeah, this I definitely recommend. As you can see, it's well loved, well used, and I will definitely repurchase this as well. This is the first eye primer that I used to use before any other. Right, so in my earlier videos, like my first ever videos that I put up with makeup, I was using this primer. Right, next up we have the Beauty Bay Eye Base, and this is in shade, which one is this? This is in base 3. I haven't even opened it yet. I haven't used it, haven't tried it. A lot of people rave about it, which is why I picked it up. I thought number 2 would be too light, but you know, number 3 might just work. So yeah, I'm gonna try this out. And then we have the infamous P. Louise and Made by Mitchell collaboration, the Acid Rain in blank canvas. I use this to cut the crease. I use this when I need to use, when I want my colours to stand out and pop. It's really, really light on the lid, so all colours do work with this. So yeah, anytime you see me cutting the crease and stuff like that, 9 times out of 10, you'll see that this is what I'm using. So yeah, this is definitely staying. And I think I have a backup of this as well, because as you can see, it's well used, well loved. Right guys, because the video is already so long and I've only managed to do the concealers, primers and foundations, I'm going to leave it here, right, stain included. I'm going to leave it here and then pause it and then do a part 2 and do my setting sprays and setting powders, guys. I think that's the best thing for me to do. So we're going to make 2 videos. One will be, yeah, I think that makes sense. If I do foundations, primers and concealers as 1, and then do setting sprays and setting powders as 2. So this will go up first and then the next one will go up next. Right, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and it's already long enough, so I'm not going to stay here and waffle on. Please though, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button below and then press the little notification bell so you don't miss another upload from me. And yeah, once again, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, have a beautifully blessed day, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.